In the heart of London, Imam Hussein Media Group is on the brink of an extraordinary transformation. We are securing a new home, a sanctuary named after the Queen of Karbala, Lady Zainab Salamullahi alayhi, who commemorated Abi Abdullah al-Hussein and spread the message of Karbala. This new complex, spanning 515 square meters, will be the central hub for our 5 channels. A place for filming, editing, broadcasting and gathering as a community. With a cost of £1.5 million, we invite you to be part of this new chapter. Each square meter will cost £2,900, but every contribution counts. One share is £290, or even one brick is £50. Your donation will not only build this sanctuary, but also secure immense reward in this world and the hereafter. Every show produced, every message broadcasted will be a source of thawab for you and your families. By helping us secure this building, you are paving the way for millions to connect with Karbala and the message of Imam Hussein alayhi salam through our channels. Join the ranks of the lovers of Aba Abdullah. Be part of this noble cause. Donate today and make a lasting impact on Shia media globally.
Have a duty towards the preservation and the propagation of the message of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Indeed, one of the best ways to work towards the reappearance of Imam al-Mahdi ajjalallahu ta'ala farajul sharif is through promoting the values of Karbala. Imam Hussein Media Group is the only Shia television network that broadcasts globally in 5 different languages: Arabic, Farsi, Turkish, Urdu, and English. We are appealing to the lovers of Imam Hussein alayhi salam worldwide to support the channel such that it may continue its global operations. Imam Hussein Media Group is seeking 1,000 partners to pledge to a £14 contribution per month. This will allow the channel to sustain its operating costs as we continue to spread the message of Imam Hussein alayhi salam in multiple languages across the globe. You be a part of this great legacy and donate today. You can pledge in 2 ways. www.imamhussein3.tv/donate will take you direct to our donation page where you can pledge monthly. Or you can call or WhatsApp us on 0044 793 9917163. Imam Hussein TV, your gateway to Karbala.
Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers of Imam Hussein TV3. Welcome back to another episode of Ahkam SOS, the show where we discuss various Islamic topics, practices and principles. I am your host, Sayyid Muthanna al-Musawi, and I am joined by none other than Sheikh Ali. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
How are you doing, Sheikhna?
Alhamdulillah, fine.
Alhamdulillah, Sheikhna. Alhamdulillah. Sheikhna, do you know that this is our final episode of this season?
Inshallah, not the final.
Of this season. Inshallah. To the viewers at home, I'm sure you just heard right now, I just said it. This is the final episode of this season. We will be taking a short break till we begin again during the month of Ramadan. We will begin again on the first of the holy month of Ramadan at 8:30 p.m. throughout the whole entire month of Ramadan. And inshallah, we see you during those great during that great month. To the viewers at home as well, just a quick reminder on how this show actually works. It works in 3 steps. Number 1, you send in your questions. Number 2, I ask the Sheikh. And number 3, the Sheikh answers. To do that first and most important step, all you need to do at home is either through our WhatsApp number, which you can see right below, you send in your question. Or if you're watching on YouTube comment section, you send in your question there. Or if you're watching on our regular channel, you can call in and ask the Sheikh directly. And inshallah, in all 3 scenarios, the Sheikh answers. Sheikhna, let us begin. From WhatsApp, I know that it is obligatory to obey the parents. If not obeying them, they will be annoyed because of their compassion on their child. But is it obligatory on the baligh child to obey them in this case according to Ayat Allah? Sayyid Sistani.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين. Yes, indeed, His Eminence mentions that it becomes wajib and obligatory if without listening to them or obeying them would cause annoyance and harm the parents. In this case, they have to obey them. In other words, ata'a wajiba becomes.
Of course. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, how to pray Nafil prayer in the month of Ramadan.
You see, each night there is a specific salah for each night. Now, is it 2 rak'ah, 4 rak'ah? It depends. You have to go back to the books of A'mal of the month of Ramadan and see each night has its own specific prayers. Of course, the nawafil for the 5 daily prayers stays the same, in terms of nafilat al-fajr, nafilat al-asr, and maghrib al-isha, they stay the same. It's just there's add up in terms of the mustahab prayers in the nights of the holy month of Ramadan. Each night has its own couple of rak'ah to pray each night separately.
Okay, thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from WhatsApp, Salaam alaikum.
Assalam.
Are mushrikeen also called dhimmi just like Ahlul Kitab?
No, there's a special hukum. I mean, mainly the dhimmi is for Ahlul Kitab, those who believe in the scriptures, the Old and New Testament. So they are the dhimmi. Ahlul Kitab, they have, other than them, they have their own hukum with this regard, special hukum.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, in a recent podcast that I saw, there were discussions on many hadith in the book Bahar al-Anwar are not authenticated. What are your views on this, Sheikhna?
You see, alhamdulillah, we say this always, that there's no book which is perfectly correct, 100%, like the Holy Quran.
Of course.
The rest of the books, there is scrutiny in terms of its chain of narrators, in terms of the context, in terms of the meaning of the hadith. Many ahadith could be da'if, weak, even fabricated. So you cannot trust 100% on a book and take it without scrutiny. So that's why we have ulama al-rijal, ulama al-hadith. They sit down and they try to find out the correct hadith from the weak hadith, for example. So yes, we have such a thing. It's not something. It's not Quran revealed by Allah Azza wa Jalla. Hadith compiled by Ala Majlis rahmatullah alayh, and he mentions in the beginning of the Bihar that he compiled everything from here and there in terms of the hadith that he received. And for you to be able to find the correct from the weak, it's the job of the alim to go investigate and try to filter these hadith and try to find the correct ones from the weak ones.
Of course. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. We are roughly 5 to 10 minutes into this episode. Just a quick reminder to the viewers at home, this is our final episode of this season. We will begin again during the holy month of Ramadan. But if you don't want to wait that long, send in your questions now. Don't miss out on such a great opportunity. Otherwise, you would have to wait until our next episode, which would be on the 1st of the holy month of Ramadan. So send them in now. All you need to do is either call in and ask the Sheikh directly, or you can use my services by sending me a message on our WhatsApp number or in the YouTube comment section, and I will ask the Sheikh on your behalf, and inshallah he will answer it. Sheikhna, from WhatsApp, there is a popular noha that I heard. Is it permissible to listen to this noha as it looks like a concert, according to Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq Shirazi?
His Eminence mentions that if the vocal, let's say melody, the which don't use music, if it would be almost similar to the music tune and the beats, let's say, this vocal beat would be exactly the same as the musical beat would be forbidden, of course.
Okay.
So one should be careful with this regard.
Be careful.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, sometimes I get shak in iftar time, like the time of iftar is commenced, but the sky is brighter and not darker. What is a sure way to help solve this problem?
I mean, the ulama mentioned in the Risala Amaliyah that it's better for the one to open his iftar just a few moments after the adhan and to stop eating just moments before Fajr adhan. That's what we have, I think, 5-10 minutes before the Fajr adhan. I don't know what's called exactly, I can't remember. But 10 minutes before the Fajr, you stop eating. It doesn't mean that you can't eat, but it's just for ihtiyat.
Just to make sure.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You don't eat while it's Fajr time.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. Another quick reminder to the viewers, do not hesitate. Don't be shy. Send in your questions, any and all Islamic questions. This show is Ahkam SOS, the show where we discuss various Islamic topics, practices and principles. It is all about gaining knowledge, understanding more about your faith, and all you need to do is send in your questions and learn more about your faith, understand more about your faith, and this is probably the best place to do that. So send in your questions. There's no need to be shy, to hold back, just ask, and inshallah we will be here to answer your questions. Sheikhna from WhatsApp, please tell, is it obligatory on a non-baligh to obey them in that case? I think this goes back to the previous question where they were asking regarding if the parents would be annoyed if you do not obey them. On a non-baligh, is that still the case?
Usually the hukum is about the baligh when it comes to haram or wajib. Of course, the non-baligh who is in the age of discerning age, as they say, sin al-tamyiz, discerning age, would also have to be careful with this regard. If they understand the right from the wrong, they have to be careful with this regard as well, to respect the parents and obey them. If the opposite would cause annoyance and harming the parents somehow.
Well, in the question, Sheikhna, they specify keeping a fast of Ramadan. Is that maybe they mean something different by that, or
keeping the fast?
Keeping the fast, yes.
To remain fast the day on the day. That's what it means, I think.
Okay.
To remain fast all day, from Fajr till Maghrib.
And they should obey. If you're non-baligh,
in terms of obeying.
This is the same question about the obeying.
No, it doesn't make a difference.
It doesn't make a difference.
Night or daytime.
Okay.
You have to obey all the time. If that wouldn't, if you don't obey, then it could cause annoyance and, as I've said, harming your parents and somehow.
Okay.
Ta'addi, as they say.
Yeah. So you want to make sure
it doesn't make a difference. Of course, when you're fasting, things would be different in terms of the one who's fasting, who commits a sin would be different. Of course.
Of course. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, the sadaqah which we remove for Imam Mahdi, that money, can we give it to anyone in need of financial help, or does it have to be given only to a Sayyid?
No, if it's just a charity or sadaqah, as they mentioned, general sadaqah, that would be fine to give it to any poor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And from WhatsApp, sorry, Sheikhna, I believe I'm not asking this properly. So I believe this person is a non-baligh, and their parents are asking them or telling them to keep fasting during the month of Ramadan, and they're asking according to Ayatollah Sayyid Sistani. Is it still the case if they're non-baligh and their parents are telling them that they need to fast during the month of Ramadan?
You see, Ahkam Shar'iyyan overall, it's good for somebody who is in discerning age, as I've said, to be able to practice in terms of daily prayers, of fast, and other obligatory acts that they can. So it's good to practice them. According to some ulama, they would say that it would be counted as rewards for that individual, and some would say it's just an exercise. So again, with regards to the rewards given to the parents, for example, as a result for encouraging them. In anyhow, they have to liaise with their parents somehow.
Yeah,
try to tell them, we can't fast for such long time. We go to school and come back, and we need rest. So they have to try to please their parents in somehow to get their satisfaction and rida al-walidain.
Yes.
In one side, and to be able to maneuver, in other words, with this regard. So, try to be good, nice to them.
Of
this
course,
regard,
of course, of course. Thank you very much, Sheikhna, for clearing that up for us. And from YouTube, Salaam Alaikum. I am a convert to Islam. I learned to pray in Arabic, but I don't understand the translation. Is the prayer still accepted?
In terms of the wajib in salah, that you have to recite the Arabic surah and both surah and the first and second, and as well as the azkar mentioned after the second rak'ah of salah.
Yes.
It's good to go back to the translation of the Holy Quran and understand. What is important is to pronounce the words correctly. So, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, and not to make a mistake, for example, with this regard. So, try to get the translation, understand. That would be, of course, a plus and an addition and a credit for you. The more you pay attention in salah, the better, the more reward, inshallah.
Inshallah, inshallah. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, as there are many opinions among the scholars, can we study hadiths on our own, or do we have to rely only on scholars? And how do we verify it?
You see, even today's scholars, even ulama, even fuqaha would go back to other scholars, the past and the present, to see what they said about this specific opinion about this hadith or the fiqhi ruling, for example. They studied the opinions, and then based on these opinions they would give their own verdicts and their own opinions. So you have to go back to the experts in this regard, to those who have knowledge in the hadith, and try to find out what's been said with this regard. That's the best way for the one to be able to gain knowledge by going back to the sharh. As I said, there are sharh for Kitab al-Kafi, sharh, other books. They have the knowledge to give commentary and sharh for these narrations of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. We don't have that capability, because lots of tools have been used and implemented, from Arabic syntax, grammar, ilm al-rijal, ilm al-hadith, ilm al-diraya, what else? Of course, they have a good background of tawheed. They know the tawheed of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. Also, they would know the language or the lahan of the hadith that was used in that time, and how can we figure out what the Imam is meaning in this hadith. You have to understand as I said, the lahan and the language of the Imam alayhi salam when he speaks in that time. So it needs a proper scholar to understand, and gives us the commentary on these hadiths. So that's the safe way for us with this regard.
Of course. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, how to correctly pronounce the sound wala dhalleen in Surah Al-Hamd that we recite in prayers.
Wala dhalleen, so 4 times mad, and dhalleen basically, not dhalleen. So you keep the tongue inside your mouth. That's the way how it says. Dhalleen,
Okay, thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from WhatsApp, there is a debate within the Shia community regarding the role of major scholars and marājiʿ. Some people question whether we should follow their guidance, especially concerning khums. While large amounts are given to them, critics argue that the funds are not being utilized effectively within the community, despite significant contributions to institutions and projects. Could you please clarify why such concerns arise and how the marājiʿ ensure that khums serves the needs of the Shia community?
You see, there are many points to be raised here. Number one, who is raising these concerns? This is very important. Is it someone or some group who are enemies of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam? Enemies of Shia of Ahlul Bayt, and they try to raise something, doubts within the Shia community, especially the youth community, that we have a hadith which says don't give khumus, the Imam made khumus halal, and so forth. And they neglect other hadith that the Imams have already been taking khumus from their Shia. the time of Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam, Imam Rida alayhi salam. Go back to the hadith, see how much Imam took the akhmas. And by the way, one of the issues that we had, the new sects in the Shia, like the Waqifiyya, why? They stopped on Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam, and they said the Imam Kadhim went to disappearance. The Imam Kadhim's representatives, Ukala, they took the Khumus themselves. They kept it themselves. So it means that the Khumus used to be paid to the Imam through their Ukala. Now this Wakil became, betrayed the Imam Salamullah alayhi, and he took the Khumus. That's a different story. But we can see that historically they used to take the akhmas from their Shia. So we have to initially find out who is raising these doubts. That's number one. Number two, of course, you have to make sure that you give the khumus to someone who you trust, to the marja' that you believe in, you follow him, of course, if he's a marja' with the conditions of marja'iyya, adil, just, jama' lil-shara'id, mukhalifan li-hawa', as the Imam says, that he doesn't follow his desires, he doesn't want fame, he doesn't want wealth, to accumulate wealth, for example, and so forth. يقلدوه العوام. So these conditions, when it's met, that's it. You give, and you become somebody who is mukallaf to pay these حقوق الشرعية, like the zakat, for example, zakat al-fitr, and so forth. It's not going to be just khumus. Where is my zakat al-fitr is going after, on the day of Eid, for example? What about the zakat of the farm and the cattle that I have, for example? Where is it going? The same thing can be raised again with new doubts, for example. So it's important that we understand and study where these doubts are coming from. Who are these people? Let them come forward and talk to us, talk to the ulama, talk to their representatives. Who are they? Yes, it could be in some here and there, some things, in some issues, it could happen, of course. You know, as I've said, they were the wakala of Imam al-Kadhim, and they betrayed him. They took the wealth and they established a new madhab al-Waqifiyya, where they stopped on Imam Kadhim salamullah alayhi. And this is when the Abbasids killed him salamullah in prison, they said he went into disappearance. And he will reappear again. So we keep the money. Can you see the game that they played? So yes, one should make sure that he listens from the right source, from the pure source, and not the wrong source, and the, let's say, filthy source.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from WhatsApp, if after saying the second surah, so during salah, when you're in the first or the second rak'ah, after you say the second surah's Bismillah, and you haven't assigned a specific surah that you will read, are you able to say, are you able to just go on from there, or do you have to repeat the Bismillah and then after you've actually thought in your mind what surah you plan on reading?
Ulama differ with this regard. Some would say you have to repeat the Bismillah and specify the verse again. So the surah. So when you say Bismillah, you must have in your intention that this Bismillah is for Qul Huwa Allahu Ahad, and not for Inna Anzalnahu, for example. So if you just say Bismillah without the intention of a specific surah, you have to repeat the Bismillah with the intention of that specific surah. Because this Bismillah is for this surah. So you have to specify it. Others like Abdul Shiraz, no, you can't. Just say Bismillah and just choose whoever you like of surah. So you got two opinions with this regard.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And to the viewers at home, we are roughly 20 minutes into the episode. I do hope that you've managed to send in your questions. If you haven't sent in any of your questions, send them in now before it is too late. Otherwise, you will have to wait a short while we are on a break. To our next season, which would be the first of the holy month of Ramadan. So send them in now. Don't delay. Don't be late. Make sure you take this opportunity while you can. Otherwise, you will have to wait. Sheikhna, from YouTube, why do Shi'as stress more on Ya Ali Madad than telling the real teachings of Imam Ali alayhi salam in their majalis? And why do Shi'as say Ya Ali Madad instead of Ya Allah Madad?
Again and again, I have to repeat this again many times, that this is the Holy Quran. وَابْتَغُوا إِلَيْهِ الْوَسِيلَةِ. You go to the Baytullah al-Haram, you kiss the black stone, it's just a stone, you touch the Kaaba, and you hug the Kaaba's walls and the curtain, and you say, Ya Allah, why do you hold the curtain? Why do you kiss the black stone? These are all wasila to Allah Azza wa Jal. Ali alayhi salam is the main wasila to Allah, is the core wasila to Allah Azza wa Jal. Because we have a narration that the hurmatul mu'min is greater than the Kaaba. The sanctity of a mu'min is greater than the Kaaba itself.
Okay.
Millions of Muslims go kiss the black stone and they say, Ya Allah, bihaq hadha al-bayt. They would put this holy house of Allah Azza wa Jal as a means towards Allah Azza wa Jal to forgive their sins and to get their needs. That's a Quranic concept. There's no issue with it.
Okay.
And Ali is Walidul Kaaba, the one who was born inside the Kaaba. He is the Imam al-Muttaqeen, Amir al-Mu'mineen, salamullah alayh. I think it's out of weakness in some of the aqidah that we reach this stage that we raise doubts that saying Ya Ali is... Because the Quran says that the martyrs are alive beside their Lord. أحياء عند ربهم يرزقون. When you say Ya Ali, he is alive in the hereafter. And in the hereafter, the Imam has the more, in terms of the hayat and the living in the hereafter is more genuine than this world. Hayat al-akhirah اللي هي الحيوان. The Quran says حيوان means hayat. True life is in the hereafter, not this world.
Okay, thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from WhatsApp, do I pray Qasr Salat if I am in Stansted Airport as I live in London?
Yes, indeed, because it's a different, let's say, area compared to London. And you pass Hadd Tarakhus.
Which is how much?
When the walls and the houses of the city disappear after a few miles.
Yeah.
Maybe after 5-6 kilometers, less or more. Then you can even pray Qasr before arriving to the airport.
Okay.
If the plan is to fly for a couple of days, let's say, or a weeks, then you can even pray in your way and even open your fast in the middle of the motorway. Exactly. Driving, yes, because now you want to leave the city and not come back again. So Hadd Tarakhus allows you to open your fast and pray Qasr as well. Okay. Before even reaching the airport.
Okay. Do you have the specific distance of how much, how many kilometers?
It's 44 kilometers in and out. So return, in other words.
Okay then. Okay, thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from WhatsApp, when I do wudu and stand for prayers, I get in shak that my wudu is batal due to stomach air. Before namaz, it is not, but after I feel, does this void my wudu?
If you're certain that there's a breaking wind, then of course you have to repeat the wudu and salah. Otherwise, no.
Only if you're certain?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
It could be just something that you might imagine sometimes happens. Some kind of obsessiveness, waswasa, one should ignore it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, Salam. Is it allowed to use chemical mendi? My mom said it isn't because it can ruin the wudu we do before praying.
What kind of chemicals are these?
Mendi.
I don't know what's that. What term is that?
I'm not sure as well.
Yeah.
But maybe it could be like a specific thing that you put on your hands or anything like that.
As long as it doesn't make like obstacle or mani' on the skin, then of course. If it's just like a henna, for example, or ink, that should be fine. But anything that causes obstacle, then you have to avoid it.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. I believe we will now be going on a break. So make sure to send in your questions throughout the break. And inshallah, we see you after the break.
I have a question regarding keeping pictures of scholars. Is it permissible to plant trees by or over
Islam
the
established based on peace and non-violence?
Is it permissible to collect donations for charity projects from
Is it permitted to consume canned food imported from non-Muslim countries?
Is there an issue for men looking at non-Muslim women?
To have your questions answered live, WhatsApp us on +44 7415 092155.
For those interested in an Islamic law book by Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq Al-Shirazi, please WhatsApp the Ahkam SOS team at the following number to place your order today: +44 7415 09 2155. The Islamic Law Book, available exclusively in hard copy, contains religious questions answered by Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq al-Shirazi. Order your hard copy today.
Assalamu alaikum, welcome back after the break to Ahkam SOS, the show where we discuss various Islamic topics, practices and principles. I am your host Sayyid Muthanna al-Musawi. I have already introduced myself, so there's no need for that. What I do need to remind you, however, is that this is the final episode of this season. So make sure to send in your questions, otherwise you will have to wait a short while until our next season, our next episode, which will be on the 1st of the holy month of Ramadan. Inshallah, you tune in then and send in your questions then, but don't miss out your opportunity to send in your questions now. Sheikhna, from YouTube, Salaam alaikum. I read in the final letter of Imam Mahdi, Ajalallahu Farajahu Sharif, that anyone who claims to have seen him before Sufyani is a liar. What about the many stories of scholars who have met the Imam?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. You see, we have to understand the meanings of the narrations, and we can't just give our own interpretation without going back to the ulama with this regard. I think the Imam says ادعى المشاهدة. So we have to understand the meaning of mushahad, or the seeing the Imam, or ru'ya. Now, the ulama say that whoever declares or claims that he is one of the four, the Imam had four representatives, Nuwab.
Yeah.
When they died, the Imam announced the major occultation, Ghaib al-Kubra. Whoever says that I am the wakil of the Imam, the fifth one, for example, this is the one who would be a liar. The one who claims to be Imam's representative and he has contacts with the Imam. And we had these people during the history that I'm the na'ib of the Imam, I saw the Imam, I sat with the Imam. And he tried to get more, companions and audience for himself. So that kind of ru'ya or mushahada or seeing the Imam would be, of course, not accepted. But those who met the Imam, of course, they were pious ulama. Allama Bahr al-Ulum, Ali ibn Mahzayar, Ibn Tawus, they are top ulama. Sayyid Salih al-Hilli and others great ulama and poets and Khuddam al-Hussein saw the Imam alayhi salam. So this mushahad is different than the other one, as it says, the one who claims to be Imam's representative directly, and he meets the Imam. That's the meaning of the hadith.
That's the meaning. Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikh. And from WhatsApp, in which finger should we wear the aqiq rings? And please tell me the fada'il of the aqiq and how many colors are there of the aqiq?
Yes, it has to be done and wear on the right hand and second finger, as of now, for example. Of course, the aqiq has, I think, in one of the narrations, that one of the very stones that confess to Allah with the shahada, Azza wa Jal, one of the first stones to give the shahada. Because everything, as the Quran says, يُسَبِّحْ بِحَمْدِ رَبِّهِ, but we cannot understand the tasbih of this creation of Allah Azza wa Jal. And of course, it's mustahab to wear it in the salah, for example. Many narrations mentions about the fada'il, one can go back and check, inshallah.
Inshallah, inshallah. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from WhatsApp, Salaam alaikum, Sheikhna. Is zakat only wajib to those who have a certain amount of gold and or owns some land? Does it apply to solid cash like US dollars?
No, for the cash, khumus would be applied. So if you have, let's say, a surplus unspent cash in the account or cash in hand, you haven't spent it during the year, then you have to pay khumus 1/5 out of the remaining money left, unspent, of course, during the year. Otherwise, if you have a farm, land, cattle, silver and gold, huge amounts, of course, then there's zakat, and there's a threshold for that. If you have wheat, barley, for example, in a farm, and it reached, let's say, 900 kilograms, roughly, then you pay some amount of money. Or if you have, let's say, 40 sheep For example, you give 1 sheep, for example, or 40 camels. And there's ahkam details mentioned about how many cattle, if you have an amount which reaches the threshold, then you pay 1 or more as zakat. It doesn't apply to us. Usually we don't have any lands or cattle and farms. So yeah, for us we have to pay khumus.
Khums.
Yes.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, can I open my fast a bit late or quickly due to work timing issues?
Yes, you can open it late. There's no issue with it. But usually with the adhan time, it's the time in which you can open your fast. So if you can pray in this time and then after salah open your fast would be also good. So we pray first, for example.
Yeah. But what about, Sheikhna, if slightly earlier before the time of Salat al-Maghrib?
وَأَتِمُّ الصِّيَامِ إِلَى اللَّيْلِ. You have to wait till layl.
Okay.
You cannot open before that.
Okay.
And by Fajr you have to stop eating.
Okay.
Just before Fajr adhan. You have to follow the rulings.
Follow the rules. Okay, thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, I work at McDonald's and the smell of food and drinks is really strong. I just wanted to ask, will this break my fast or the smell of a perfume?
No, it wouldn't.
It wouldn't?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from WhatsApp, are the 2 niyas of Ada and Qada only for obligatory prayers? For example, if I miss Salat al-Layl and pray it the next day, should I specify Qada in my niyyah, or is it enough to simply intend Qurbatan ilallah without specifying?
Yes, Qada, of course. For the Salat al-Layl, next day, the intention is Qada, of course.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, how do we get true dreams? I heard that the timing is usually before Fajr.
I mean, sometimes there are mentioned that to recite specific verses or du'as to have good dreams, for example. But these are the timings, as I've said, in terms of Fajr time, would be the time where people would see dreams. But of course, the dream is not a proof or hujjah that you can build upon a shari'i issue, for example, or to do something. It's just a dream. Gives you some kind of insight about the current issues or past or the future, for example. And sometimes it comes true. They say dreams come true. So it could be in somehow. But as I've said, the only correct dreams or perfect dreams are the dreams of the Anbiya. When Yusuf saw his brothers and father and mother, they're prostrating, that they fell prostrating to me. The stars and the sun and the moon. Yeah. So that kind of dreams for Anbiya is true.
Okay.
Other than the Anbiya, non-infallibles or the fallibles one, of course, no, it's not hujjah.
It's not. Okay. Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. I believe we have a phone call right now. Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
How are you doing, brother? You okay?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine. I'm talking from Bangladesh, Pakistan.
Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillah. That's great. Great to hear. I believe you have a question for the Sheikh.
Yes, my question to Sheikh is that in Shia thought there are 2 views on Friday prayers. One believes it should be performed, while the other says it is not wanted with all the prisms of the Imam of time. What is the position? Should Friday prayer should be performed? Lastly, I request my sincere prayers to Sheikh. Your heartful dua will generate solace of spend money, and I will be grateful to remember it in the future as well. Jazakallah khair.
Jazakallah khair. Thank you very much for your question. Okay, Sheikhna, so this brother asked regarding the Friday prayers. Are we, so people usually do pray Friday prayers. Some people have beliefs that we should not be praying it only when the Imam of our time appears. What are your thoughts on this?
Jazakallah khairan, may Allah bless this brother. Basically, there are 3 opinions in the past and present. The one which was in the past, I'm not sure if in the present they still have this opinion that it's not permissible, not allowed to pray Friday prayer unless with the presence of the Imam Ma'soom alayhi salam. So it's not allowed.
Okay.
The second opinion is that it's wajib, I think, yeah. or permissible. But anyhow, today's fatwa by ulama, Ayatollah Shazi and others, that it is wajib takhiri. In other words, you have two options on Friday, noon time.
Yes.
Either to pray dhuhr 4 times, 4 rak'ah, or to pray the 2 rak'ah of Salat al-Jum'ah with the 2 sermons. You attend them and you listen to the sermons.
Yeah.
So they're both now wajib. If you do one, the other one is waived.
Okay.
So now the fatwa is wajib takhiri. It's your choice.
It's up to you.
Yes, yes. Okay. You can choose to pray dhuhr only 4 rak'ah or to pray Jum'ah prayer.
Okay.
So it's your opinion. Of course, some would say when you pray Salat al-Jum'ah with the 2 sermons, احتياطا استحبابي to repeat dhuhr again, Salat al-Dhuhr. Because of this issue, in terms of those who said it's forbidden, because the Imam is not present with us, so we can pray behind him, and so forth.
Okay, okay, great. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And thank you for our dear brother for sending, for calling in and asking his question. And he also asked for your prayers, Sheikhna.
Inshallah.
He's going through a hard time, from what I understood. Inshallah. Khair. Sheikhna, we're just going to go quickly through the remaining questions from YouTube. So in ruku' and sujood, when we say Subhana Rabbil A'la wa bihamdih, do we say salawat after it, or is it not compulsory?
No, the wajib is only this dhikr, Subhana Rabbil A'la wa bihamdih, that's it, that's enough.
That's it. Okay, perfect.
The salah, of course, and other ad'iyah would be optional and mustahab.
Okay, okay, thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, what should one do when he is doubting the amount of times he said Subhanallah, walhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar in salah?
I mean, you have to see if it's, if you said 2 times, you have to add another one and say, make sure it's 3.
Okay.
So it's either 2 or 3.
So you just make sure
you just add. If it's you have a doubt.
Okay.
Just make sure it's 3.
Okay, thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, Salaam Alaikum. Can I pray Jum'ah at a Sunni mosque if there are no Shi'as in my area?
You pray Jum'ah, you follow the Imam. As I've said before, in the Shi'i fiqh, you have to make sure that the Imam is adil and just, even if he is a Shi'i Imam. So if there's no adala, you cannot pray behind them. So that's the issue. But you can pray dhuhr by yourself, dhuhr asr by yourself in the mosque. It should be fine.
It should be fine. Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, can a husband ask for the mahar to be forgiven after the nikah? Let's say he agrees to paying a higher amount during the nikah, knowing that he will ask for his wife's forgiveness later on.
If she gives the consent, the permission. It's up to the wife.
It's up to the wife. Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, can I wear aqiq on my little finger?
Yes, you can.
And from WhatsApp, can I change my taqleed from Sayyid Sistani to Sayyid Sadiq Shirazi after getting confirmation from trustful alims?
You have to speak to the, as you mentioned, to the alim, to the experts to this regard. That's the best way. And you have to give the scenario why you want to switch to one alim to another alim. So you have to basically take the ijazah in other words.
Okay.
For this regard,
Okay, thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, Salaam Alaikum. Shi'as all over the world are called as mushrikeen because they say, Ya Ali, Madad. Why don't we avoid it?
Because those who accuse us of shirk, they don't have the correct aqidah and tawheedullah azza wa jal. So they haven't understood what Allah oneness is. So when you fall into that misconception of knowing your Lord, of course you accuse the others who have the correct and perfect aqidah in Allah azza wa jal. When they have in their books that Allah will come on the day of judgment and he puts his leg inside the fire and he says, qat, stop, enough. When they embody Allah, of course, who is the mushrik? Who is the true mushrik? Is the one who embodies Allah azza wa jal with the big beard and arms and read what's mentioned in their books. So they have to initially correct their aqidah in Allah azza wa jal and tawheedullah, and then they come to us and argue and debate. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, can Imam Ali alayhi salam hear and help all Shi'as at the same time?
bi'idhnillah, everything can be done. If Allah gives the permission and the consent, why not? Isa used to raise the dead from the grave, but
Yes.
bi'idhnillah. And he said in the Quran that I can tell what you hide in your houses, food or drink, I can say. But bi'idhnillah, why not?
Bi'idhnillah.
What's wrong with it? Again, if you don't have the tawheed, the correct tawheed, you can say this is all shirk. Because your tawheed is problematic, is incomplete. As I've said, the tawheed of like other religions, na'udhu billah.
Okay, thank you very much, Sheikhna. From YouTube, if I see one of the Imams in my dream, does it mean I have actually seen them?
Well, it depends really. I mean, we haven't seen the Imams themselves in our lifetime. So it depends really. It's, the dream is a different world in alim al-ru'ya. But inshallah, hope that inshallah, there should be something
Inshallah. And from YouTube, what is imsak?
Ahsant, I was looking for this word. That 10 minutes before Adhan al-Fajr, there's imsak.
Okay.
Imsak means to stop eating and drinking as part of the precaution and ihtiyat, to make sure that you're ready for the next day's fasting, and you made sure that you've stopped eating and drinking before Adhan al-Fajr. It's just for the ihtiyat, make sure that you're ready and you're not eating anything or drinking anything with the Adhan time.
Just to make sure.
Exactly.
Okay.
Otherwise it begins with the Adhan time.
Yeah.
Straight in a shop.
Okay, thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, so in my school, I'm doing a practical on pig's lungs and heart. Is it haram for me to touch it, or can I touch it using gloves?
Of course, if you touch it, then it becomes impure. You have to purify your hand. So best option is to use the gloves, yes.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, is it haram to be an athlete, knowing that often the companies sponsoring the tournaments usually are involved in riba or gambling?
You have to avoid any kind of dealings, or let's say transactions that is used for gambling or betting and so forth. So you have to stay away from that transaction, in other words. So you shouldn't be part of those who promote betting and gambling and such like.
Understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, I am an ex-Sunni and recently became Shia. I want to know if Jum'ah namaz is compulsory for Shia.
No, it's not. As I've said, it's a wajib takhiri.
Yes.
According to the ulama of Shia today, that you have the two options: either to attend the Jum'ah prayer in a Shia mosque, that's fine. Attend every Friday, listen to the two sermons, great. If not, you can pray the Dhuhr for rak'ah in your comfort at home or at work or anywhere else. So it's your choice.
It's your choice.
Yeah.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna, for sitting with us today. And thank you as well for sitting with us throughout the entire season and asking and answering all the questions on behalf of the many different marājiʿ. Thank you again. And thank you to all the viewers at home for tuning in with us throughout this episode and throughout the many different episodes we had throughout this season. Inshallah, we see you soon. We will, of course, miss you. I will miss you. I will miss this. But inshallah, we will begin again on our next episode, on our next season, which is throughout the holy month of Ramadan. We will begin again on the first of the holy month of Ramadan, and inshallah, we see you then. We will be having an episode every day, every night at 8:30 p.m. So make sure to tune in and send in your questions at that time. And inshallah, we see you soon. Ma'a salama.
In the heart of London, Imam Hussein Media Group is on the brink of an extraordinary transformation. We are securing a new home, a sanctuary named after the Queen of Karbala, Lady Zainab Salamullahi alayh, who commemorated Abi Abdullah al-Hussein and spread the message of Karbala. This new complex, spanning 515 square meters, will be the central hub for our 5 channels, a place for filming, editing, broadcasting, and gathering as a community. With a cost of £1.5 million, we invite you to be part of this new chapter. Each square meter will cost £2,900, but every contribution counts. One share is £290, or even one brick is 50 pounds. Your donation will not only build this sanctuary, but also secure immense rewards in this world and the hereafter. Every show produced, every message broadcasted will be a source of thawab for you and your families. By helping us secure this building, you are paving the way for millions to connect with Karbala and the message of Imam Hussein alayhi salam through our channels. Join the ranks of the lovers of Aba Abdullah. Be part of this noble cause. Donate today and make a lasting impact on Shia media globally.
Have a duty towards the preservation and the propagation of the message of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Indeed, one of the best ways to work towards the reappearance of Imam al-Mahdi ajjalallahu